Hey guys, it's Clarissa, and tonight I'd like to do something a bit different. So I wanted to do kind of like a get ready with me video plus some kwentuhan. And tonight I'd like to share with you guys my very negative experience dito sa Philippine Immigration when I was at the NAIA airport. So let's get into it. By the by, I got these new cat ears. So they are white and I'm matching the ears with my top. So it all started back in 2019. I had just quit my job of over 5 years, a little over 5 years. And when I left, I was able to save a little bit of money, like a tiny bit of money. And so I was like, okay, well, I had no job and I really had no plans when I quit. Love the smell. So I decided that, this would be the perfect time to do some traveling. I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. I have a cousin that lives there with her family, and I thought, have some money saved. I don't really have a job anymore. I have no prior commitments or anything, and so why not? So I went to apply for a visa. So I went to the New Zealand embassy and applied for a visa. So it cost 10,000 pesos just to apply. 3 days later, I got an email from them saying that I got accepted. No, actually, I got declined. I was devastated. I was depressed for a hot minute. Thankfully, they did provide the reasons why they declined my visa. So there were 3 reasons. Number one was that I didn't have a job. I know, right? Ironic. Number two was that I had no travel history. So I've never traveled before. It was going to be my first time. And yeah, my passport was just friggin' clean as it can be, like no stamps at all. And then the third reason was that I didn't really prepare like an itinerary or anything. And I know that's not a requirement, but I guess in my case, it would have been good to have some because they actually were not sure why I was going there. So my reason for going there wasn't clear. And, it was a tourist visa that I was applying for. So you have to be bona fide, wherein your intentions for visiting should be genuine, right? Bona fide. Should be real. Hindi yung magtitiinti ka. So, those were the 3 reasons why I got denied. So, ayun. Edi na-X na yung bakla. Then I thought, okay, so what am I gonna do now, right? I'm still jobless and I still have all of my savings left. So, naisip ko, why not i-address ko yung mga reasons for me being declined one by one, right? So, number one was wala akong trabaho. That's easy. I can easily get another job. Another reason was that my intentions were not clear. Madali lang din yun. I would just prepare an itinerary for next time. And then the third thing was that I had no travel history. So naisip ko, okay, well then maybe let's do a bit of traveling to some places that don't really require a visa para magkaroon ng stamps yung passport ko so that it could help me on my future visa applications, right? If I have some kind of travel history to prove that, I follow immigration laws. So I planned my trip. I planned a whole Southeast Asian trip. So lahat ng mga walang visa. So this is pre-COVID, right? So I planned a trip to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. It was for like a 2-month trip, which was a rookie mistake. You're not supposed to plan your entire trip before boarding a plane. Rookie mistake. So anyway, first time ko mag-travel, diba? I've never been on a plane before this date. So I did what pretty much everybody does. I arrived at the airport like 3 hours early because, it was my first time and I just didn't know what to expect. And, I wanted everything to go smoothly and, just making sure that I'm able to board the plane without any, difficulties. So, edi ay na, pumila na ako. Tapos, nakita ko, yung iba pinapatawid. Yung iba naman, pinapapunta dun sa sa parang office nila. So ako rin, nagtanong-tanong na ako na okay ba dito sa pila na to? Ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And then, my turn finally came. So, ako na. So, tinignan na nung lalaki yung documents ko. Tapos, pinapunta na ako sa office. Tapos, edi, sabi ko, shit, baka maekis pa akis. So, may pila din doon, no? Sa office, maraming tao din. Tapos, syempre, you have to wait for your turn. So, di ako na. Ayan na, babae yung nag-interview sa akin. Sabi ng babae, saan ka pupunta? Sabi ko, sa ganito, sa ganito, sa ganito, sa ganito. Ang dami naman! Kailan balik mo? Sabi ko, by this date. Ang tagal naman! No kidding. That's how she was. And then she began to interrogate me. Sabi niya, bakit ang tagal? Ganyan. Bakit ang tagal? Ano gagawin mo doon? Sabi ko, I am going to be traveling. I've never traveled before. It was my first time. Hindi ako nag-i-English ha. Kasi naman baka feeling, alam mo yon, inaartihan ko pa or something. So, Tagalog ako. Hindi ako nag-i-English. So, ayun. Sabi ko, ganyan. Sabi niya, patingin ng patingin ng mga documents mo. Pinakita ko yung itinerary ko na pinrint ko lahat eh. So, pinakita ko yung mga kung saan ako mag-book, saan ako magsistay. So, everything was there, right? Everything was paid. Bayad na lahat yun eh. Lahat ng accommodation, lahat ng flights ko, bayad na. She really had no reason to suspect that I was gonna do something else kasi everything was there, diba? I mean, although yeah, I could do that still, pero, diba? So anyways, pinakita ko na, hindi pa rin siya satisfied. Kahit pinakita ko na it was like, ang dami nung pinaprint ko. So it was like a 4-page or 5-page document and she was not satisfied with that. Hindi pa rin sa kanya okay yun. So, she proceeded to ask me about my finances. Sabi niya, sino nagbayad nito? Sabi ko, ako. Saan mo nakuha yung pera? Sabi ko, sa work ko. I had a job. Sabi ko ganun. Sabi niya, patingin. So, pinakita ko yung bank account ko through my phone. Nignan niya. Tingin ganun. Sabi niya, sa'yo to? Girl, kundi lang immigration si ate. Nako, napatulan ko na talaga yan. Pero syempre, I had to, restrain. I had to control myself and be as objective as I could because I know na sa kanya nakasalalay yung travel ko. Like, so ayun na nga. Tinanong niya. Sabi niya, sa'yo to? Sabi ko, yes. And here was the worst part of it. Sabi niya, so you have all this money and instead of giving it to your family, you're choosing it to travel for yourself. Like, girl, it's none of your business what I do with my money. Like, your job is to know whether I can financially sustain my travels. In terms of being bona fide and what my intentions are, I think I proved to you, well, a little bit, that, based on my 5-page itinerary that I was gonna go traveling. And like, bitch, it was my first time. Like, what the hell is your problem? It was so discouraging to have experienced this kasi first time ko diba? I've never traveled before. Tapos parang, alam mo yun, I was 29, I wanted to go see the world and this bitch is just like, doesn't want me to leave. Like, what the hell is your problem? Like, ano ba? Bawal ba? Bakit? Bawal ba? Nag-ipon naman ako. Parang anong problema? Diba? Bakit tayo mo ko paalisin? Like, ewan ko ba? Bakit ganyan ang mga Pinoy? Eh di ano na, parang nag-iisip-isip ako na parang, shit, hindi ata ako makakaalis. Kasi this girl was like determined to find a reason or some kind of butas para lang hindi ako makaalis. Like lahat talaga sinisita niya. I was feeling all of the feelings during this time. Parang sabi ko, ano ba yan? Na-decline na nga ako sa New Zealand. Dito pa ba? Sabi ko, paano na yan? Nabayaran ko na lahat, 'di ba? Parang sabi ko na lang kay God, parang Lord, kayo na lang bahala. Kasi na-decline na nga ako eh. So obviously, 'di ba, you had other plans for me. Dali lang. Ang hirap magalit pag nagmamaskara. And so, she wasn't letting me go, right? Tapos, yung flight ko, mamimiss ko na. Kasi malapit na eh. My flight was like at 7 p.m. And she was still talking to me at like 6:50. Kinakausap pa ako ni Gaga. Sabi ko, paano na yan? Diyos ko, parang mamimiss ko na yung flight ko. Buti na lang, meron dong LGBTQIA ally. May bakla sa immigration. Tapos, parang dumaan siya sa likod ng babae. Sabi niya, okay na yan. Backpacker nga eh. Ganyan talaga yan. Sabi ng babae, kumakamot-kamot pa si ate. Ayaw talaga niya. Sabi niya, sige na nga. Galit pa siya. Kumbaga, ayaw talaga niya akong paalisin. Parang, Diyos ko, ang tagal ko doon sa office. I waited for like an hour. I almost missed my flight. If it weren't for that person, I don't think makakaalis ako. Thank God, I was able to board my flight just in the nick of time. It was such a bad experience because like first time ko, diba? I didn't know what to expect. Hindi ko alam na ganun pala. Hindi ko alam kung siya lang ha. Hindi ko alam kung lahat sila, they're all the same. Pero like, just from that experience na parang ganun pala, pag-aalis dito, Diyos ko, like pahirapan. Ang nakakatawa kasi when I traveled to the different countries that I visited, hindi sila ganon. Like when I arrived at Singapore, they just looked at my passport and said, welcome to Singapore. They didn't even ask kung, kasi parang based on my research and everything, may show money pa, ganyan, everything. Wala. They just look at it and they'll let you go. And it's the same with the rest of the country. So it was, you know, just so ironic na kapwa Pilipino ko pa yung talagang mapahirapan pa talaga ako. Makaalis lang. So, pero sobrang thankful ko na nakaalis ako kahit na napunta ako dun sa impact ng babae na yun. Thank you guys for joining me again and I will share more stories with you on the next one. Bye guys.